So in this video today, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly everything you need to do in order to grow a small account. Now, we're going to be going over the basics of growing a small account. I'm going to be going over tips and tricks for growing a small account. I'm going to give you guys my personal experience with growing small accounts and how I've been able to grow them from $1,000 to $10,000, from $500 to $5,000. And I even turned $10,000 into almost $250,000 in 2 months. And I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how and everything I've learned from my experience trading small accounts. It's all going to be poured out into this video. So make sure you guys stay to the end because everything you're going to need to know about growing a small account will be provided for you in this video. Growing a small account, here's everything you're going to need to know about growing your small account. So starting off, to grow a small account, you need to understand it will take time and it won't happen overnight. And you need to have patience. Warren Buffett once said the stock market is a device used for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. So here's some tips. Number one, use a cash account. I wish I knew what a cash account was when I first started. It would have saved me so much money because there would be times where I wouldn't be able to day trade because I had used up all of my day trades. I'd be in profit on a day trade and then have to swing it because I didn't have any day trades left. What a cash account lets you do is it lets you day trade every single day up to your equity cap. So say you have $1,000, you can take $1,000 worth of trades and day trade them, and you don't have to swing and you don't have to only be restricted to 3 day trades per week. Number two is only trade SPY. Master SPY and you'll never have to work a job again. SPY is the one stock in the market that's always going to have good contract volume. Contracts are always going to move well. The stock is always going to give a nice move, and every single week it will give you at least 2 to 3 great A-plus setups that you'll be able to capitalize on every single week. And number three, read price action. Get rid of all your indicators and only focus on price action. Everyone's always focused on what indicator is better, RSI, MACD. Every single good trader I know uses 0 indicators. So what does that tell you? If you're using indicators now, I promise you, if you're still in the game 3-4 years from now, you're not going to be using indicators. Might as well get rid of them now and learn how to read price action. And then here are the 3 stages of a small account. Starting stage, when the account is fresh or in a small drawdown. This is where most traders get stuck. It's where you're at $800 to $1,000 and say you start at $1,000. It's where you're still red or very small in profit and you're so impatient that you full port or you go against your risk management rules and you just go and blow the account. This is where most people fail. Stage number 2 is called the incubation stage. This is where your account is green and you're in small profits and you're slowly gaining momentum and stacking gains. Now, this could be a very good stage for people or a very bad stage. If you're here, you're most likely taking $100, $200 days on a $1,000 account. You're making around 10%, but you're still not happy with your account growth. This could result in you getting rid of your risk management, getting rid of your system, and just completely blowing your account. The incubation stage is one of the more dangerous places to be, but it's a good place to be because it's showing that you have a repeatable system, that you can be consistently making money, but it just requires a lot of discipline and people sometimes are just not ready for it. And number 3 is the profit stage. Your small account isn't that small anymore and you're getting consistent wins. Now that's where you want to be. And to get there, it requires consistency, and you need consistency to beat impatience. You want to be more consistent more than you want to be impatient. So tips, trade SPY only. This is the second time I'm mentioning it in this video. Master one ticker. It makes trading that much easier. SPY is the best stock to trade, especially options or futures. I only recommend trading SPY. Master one setup. Have one consistent setup that you could take over and over, and that's it. And later in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly my one repeatable setup that I use on SPY every single week and make money on. Have a 2-to-1 risk to reward. Now, this should be built into your system, which I'll be going over, but most traders don't use risk to reward. So if you start to look to see what your risk reward is per trade, look to lose $100 and make $200, you should be profitable over the long term just based off statistics alone. Number 3, journal every single trade. This is the most important thing that people always hear but don't capitalize on. Everyone hears you need to journal your trades, but most people don't even journal because they think it's so cliche. Like, no, journaling is one of the most important things in trading. I've been journaling since I've started trading. I can go back and show you guys my handwritten notes on my trades from 4 years ago. Money management. People are scared to scale up, and you shouldn't be, especially if you're on a small account. What you need to do is every 30 to 40%, 20 to 40%, I would say, your account grows. So say you're at $1,000. When you're at like 1.3 to 1.5K, start adding another contract. So say you're trading $100 to $200 at $1,000. Look to start scaling up to $200 when you're at around 1.3 to 1.5K, and slowly build it up as your account grows. And remember, defense is the most important thing in trading. You need to have defense first before anything else. Protect your capital and live to see another trade. What most people think is if they take a red day, they need to make it back the same day. So say you're down $100 on your 1.5K account, right? Instead of just calling it a day there, what most people tend to do is they tend to overtrade and make it an even larger red day rather than just calling it and coming back fresh the next day. Learn to play defense in the markets. Be super picky with what you trade, when you trade, and how you trade, because that's the one quality that's going to separate you from other novice traders. Now we're going to go and break down the exact one setup I use to trade SPY on a consistent basis that I've been able to repeat over and over and consistently be profitable. All right, guys, so today we're going to be going over A+ setups because I've been getting a lot of DMs, people saying, Shinobi, what's an A+ setup? So today we're going to go over that in the short Twitter video. So for me, what an A+ setup is a setup I can take over and over and over again without actually having to, have too much thought behind it. That I know it's a setup I can repeat 100 times over. I know that I will be profitable, at least 70 out of those 100 times. So here we have an hourly demand, and we traded into it on Thursday. And then what I like to do is I like to look for structure shifts on the 1 minute. So over here, we would have a structure shift happen here. So this would be your structure shift. Now, the way I play this is very different from how most people play these smart money concepts. I just add on a strong candle with the break, and I keep my stop loss at the lows, and I set my take profit 2 to 1 every single time, right? Sometimes my take profit will be higher. Like here, I would have targeted 44.0850, and that's what I did when this setup actually occurred. I was looking to trade it, and I was trading pre-market, and this was the level I was watching. And then from here, you could just let it play out. And, I like to set it to where I risk at my stop loss. I set a manual stop order, and at my take profit, I set a manual take profit. Then it's a stress-free trade for me because I know how much I'm willing to lose, and I've accepted that. And I know how much I'm going to gain if that happens. So I just let the market play out and do its thing. And you'll see, you'd be in a little bit of drawdown. You'd almost get stopped out. And, it's very choppy. And then eventually it hits your take profit. And then you go from there. So for me, that's an A+ setup. And most people, they're very confused. They're like, oh, why is he adding up that high? Why is it stop loss? That's just how I trade, and that's what's working for me. And, not every trade is going to go straight into profit every single time. So if you see drawdown, you need to be comfortable in that drawdown. Like here, if you would have panicked and stopped out, you would have missed this entire move. If you would have panicked here, you would have missed out on the entire move. You set your stop loss and your take profits for a reason, and make sure you follow that reason when you're in the trade. And that for me is an A+ setup.